Hello.
Then, now,
Bow down to the queens.
Episode number 500.
forever,
Looks like hell froze over.
Without any more further ado,
together.
let's jump straight into the show. Hello, welcome to episode number 9 of the TEW IX Challenge Run. We're here for SmackDown for Friday, July 19th, 2024. And yeah, this is the final stop before King of the Ring and Evolution. And we have the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring semi-finals tonight for the SmackDown side. Bobby Lashley face off against Carmelo Hayes and Randy Orton against Jacob Fatu for the men. Charlotte and Raquel and Io and Shayna for the women. John Cena's in town. He's going to go face-to-face with Swerve Scott. Contract signing between Ember Moon and Dakota Kai. US title match, Neville against Tyler Breeze. Sami Zayn against Johnny Gargano. OTM versus Andrade and Angel Garza. And we are in Mexico. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. We are in... How do I check this on this game? Well, we're in Mexico. I said it, you have to set it before the actual show, so like it's easy. It's so much harder just to not remember now, which is a good change. Yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into the show. We start the show off. Nick Aldis is in the wing. Just, ladies and gentlemen, this is the official contract signing for the Women's World Championship match taking place this Sunday at Evolution 6 in Arena, Mexico. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please, if I could welcome you first, the challenger this weekend. She made her return to WWE and to SmackDown last week. Please welcome back to SmackDown and to WWE, Miss Ember Moon. Out comes Ember. She takes a seat at the table. And he says, and then her opponent, the WWE Women's World Champion, Dakota Kai. Out comes Dakota. She sits down opposite her, puts the belt on the table. And she goes, ladies, we've been through this a lot now. You know what to do here. Sign that contract, let's make this match official. Ember takes the mic. She goes, well, I suppose I better start by, this place is a whole lot different than it was 2 years ago, I hear we're on a business boom over here right now. So, there's going to be a lot of people that have started watching in the last 2 years who have no idea who the hell I am. Well, hi. My name's Ember Moon. I'm a former SmackDown Women's Champion. And, 2 years ago I left this place. I bet on myself to make a name on myself and prove that I belonged back at the top of this division. And I did just that. Now I'm back here to make good on my promise. So, last week, when I returned to SmackDown, I got the call, a week or two before then, from Aldis and Adam Pearce. And they said, hey Ember, we've been keeping an eye on you outside of WWE right now. We'd really love to have you back in this division because we think that you can help take this division to the next level. And I thought, okay, I've heard that before. I've been around this place before, and this division was just getting started in the renaissance of the women's evolution was just getting started, and I was in that weird period where I sort of wasn't a horsewoman, but I sort of wasn't the post-horsewoman era. I was just I got swallowed up in this big orbit. But then, things changed. I did become SmackDown Women's Champion. That's got me. That was all good. But, I don't feel satisfied with that reign. Dakota, you can vouch for this because you didn't feel satisfied with your first reign as SmackDown Women's Champion either, did you? You won it at WrestleMania, but you still didn't feel satisfied. Because people, they don't look at you the way they look at the top stars in this division, do they, Dakota? And I know, because I'm one of them. You see, when I heard that I was obviously I've been traveling the world, honing my craft the last 2 years, and I heard that I've got to come back and there's gonna be a Women's World Championship match waiting for me on SmackDown. I was excited. I thought, it's been years since I since I tore it up with Charlotte, with Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky, Asuka. And I thought, these are the tippy top athletes over in WWE. And then I tune into the show and I'm like, hey, I suppose I better see what's happening, see who I'm going to be facing off against when I come back. And I see you. I see you holding the Women's World Championship. And I think, okay. Dakota Kai has won this championship today, so either you've changed a whole lot since I was last here, or this place needed saving. Okay? Because, try as you want, you can try and look as tough as you want. I mean, you're pouting at me right now. I met you, 15 years ago? We were both grinding. We were both of the same generation, grinding to get noticed, working over in Japan, working Shimmer, places like that. I'll always just see you as, that babyface little girl, got the pigtails in her hair and naming herself after a Pokemon. That's your world champion? Well, it won't be for too long, because after this Sunday, I'll be the world champion. Dakota takes him back and goes, are you finished? Look, I know you've been away for a while, good stuff, okay? I'm not going to take anything away from the stuff you've accomplished outside this company, because you look up and down the roster, you look at Cody, you look at Drew McIntyre, look at guys like that coming out, making a name for themselves, coming back bigger, and eventually capturing the championship that they always wanted. Ember, that's what you want to do. That's what I believe you can do, because you are one of the best I've ever seen in this ring. You wanted to take it all the way back 15 years ago when you were first getting started. I knew back then that you were going to be something. But the problem was you were coming up at the same time as me, and I wasn't going to let that spot slip up. Okay? So no, you're not facing off with Charlotte Flair. You're not facing off with Becky Lynch. You're not facing off with Bayley or Sasha or Asuka or even Io. You're facing off with somebody better. Somebody with more to prove. And everybody just laughs and goes, better. You think you're better than Charlotte, than Sasha, than Bayley. You do, don't you? Well, Dakota, you don't. I can see right through you. The problem with those big brown doe eyes of yours is that they're easy to read. And I can, sitting here just from the other side of the table, I can see. You don't believe a word you just said. Sure, you're the Women's World Champion. You've got your friends. Old friends over here. Let's give secret handshakes and share friendship bracelets. But deep down, at your core, I can see what you are. Because everybody can see what you are, because it's obvious. You still don't feel satisfied. Despite reigning as the Women's World Champion, winning the championship at WrestleMania again, being the focal point of this division for the last few months. All I hear out of your mouth is Queendom this, Queendom that, Candice this, Tegan, Piper. It's never about you. I don't know if that's because you feel like you need propping up, or if you know that there's work to be done with you and that championship. But unfortunately for you, Dakota, it's not going to happen. Because you're only going to have that championship for 48 more hours. Because while you may be a champion trying to look tough, deep down, you'll always feel like you're inadequate. You'll always feel like you don't deserve to be where you are. You'll always feel second fiddle to Io. Dakota just sort of like sneers across at Ember Moon, takes the mic and she goes, You said something earlier that that really stuck with me. You said that to you, I'll always be that girl you broke onto the scene with. What'd you call me? The little girl with space buns named after a Pokemon? Is that what you still see looking across from you in the ring right now? Okay. Go ahead. Be my guest. See her in the ring from you this Sunday. Because you've changed in the last 2 years. Well, guess what? So have I. I've learned a lot of lessons about this business and about myself over the past 2 years. But you're looking at not only the best version of myself, but one of the best versions of a women's champion you can ever step into the ring with. And Ember sort of just gets up. And she goes, I've said my piece. I'll let my actions do the talking on Sunday. It's just, and then she like goes for a punch at Dakota, but like she doesn't hit her. Like she does the punch motion and like stops like right before she hits her in the face. But Dakota flinches and like grabs the title and like flinches away from the punch. And then Ember sort of just grins at her and just goes, like I said. Drops the microphone down and leaves the ring. And Dakota, looking a bit... Ember went in on her tonight. But then cut to Randy Orton and Gorilla. He's got his ribs taped up. And Ilya walks in. And he goes, listen. I know I'm a mad dragon. I can take a beating like a man. I know you can take a beating like a man too. But I just have to tell you that you need to make sure that you're good tonight. Because Jacob Fatu, even at 100%, he's a dangerous competitor to step into the ring with. Randy goes, I'll be fine. I've wrestled with worse than this. Besides, it's only Daniel Bryan and his group of cronies. Okay? All 5 of them combined make up one Jacob Fatu. So now if you'll excuse me, I've got a tournament to go win. Randy goes out for the King of the Ring SmackDown semi-final, round 1. It's, Randy Orton and Jacob Fatu. Gets an 85. And, we made mention of the injury. And because of the injury, Randy's not 100%. Jacob Fatu beats Randy Orton clean. With a Samoan drop in 14-16. 90 for Jacob, 75 for Randy. So, here in Acropolis, Puebla, Jacob Fatu punches his ticket to the King of the Ring SmackDown final tomorrow night, where he'll face off with either Carmelo Hayes or Bobby Lashley. After the match, Randy's getting up when Miles Bourne runs out to the ring and he jumps Randy on. He starts stomping on Randy. And then as he beating Randy up, Ilya Dragunov runs out. He hits the Torpedo Moscow on Miles Bourne. Ricochet and Bronson Reed come out. Ricochet hits the recoil on him. Randy RKO's him, and then he eats a tsunami for good measure. But Miles Bourne takes the 4 finishes. And because it is the Cyclone challenging Daniel Bryan and Pete Dunne for the belts at King of the Ring. We then get a video of showing highlights of Saya Kamatani's match from Heat even this week, where she beat Hikaru Shida in a big upset, and then just highlights of her highlights in NXT Japan, not New Japan, and then Cammy, of course, coming out to her at the end of the show to try and recruit her. And then we cut to Cammy and Saya walking down the hallways, she's showing her around. She goes, and then this here, of course, is where we do our stuff. Okay, this is the Queendom locker room. A lot of stuff's gone down between these walls, and it's an honor to invite you in and welcome you to the crew. And Saya just sort of pauses and goes, "Did you speak to the Queen? Is this everything going to be okay here?" And Cammy goes, "Look, I haven't exactly spoken to my queen, per se, and she's not here right now. So, we'll speak to her at some point, but I can't see why she'll have an issue with you joining the group. She opens the door, and just Io is in the room. And Cammy goes, "Oh, Io, you're here early." And Io goes, "What's she doing?" And Cammy goes, Oh, you see, well, since, God rest her soul, what happened to Asuka last week? Well, anyway, I was thinking about replacements for Asuka in the group, and he was either immediately get confused and goes, "Huh?" And he goes, "Well, we don't know how long Asuka's going to be out for, and we need strength in numbers. So, I reached out to Saya, you know Saya. She's Utami's friend, so, there's a connection there already." And he just sort of glares at her. Glares across at Cammy. She goes, "I have a Queen of the Ring to win. She stays so long as she doesn't mess up." And then Cammy goes, "Right you are, my queen. Right you are." So yeah, the Saya in Queendom came. It was sped up because of the Asuka injury last week. That was actually as good timed as an injury could possibly be. Yeah. So yeah, Saya is now in the group. And it's funny because she's Utami's tag team partner, or was Utami's tag team partner in real life, but it's sort of a weird mix-up of lore. Like, I'm going on a tangent here. There are about 3 people who know the lore I'm talking about, and for everybody else, you're learning it for the first time here. Most of you know Stardom lore through this save. I know it. I know there's at least one of you out there that when they announced Io and Utami in real life was like, "Oh yeah, that's the Connell TEW girl." Anyway, well, she was Utami's tag team partner before Utami left, and then the look she's now using because she's in Queendom is the heel look she's using now, but she only uses the heel look now because Utami left and went to Marigold. So it's a little bit of a convoluted mess up of the lore, but she's in the heel stable, so she's using the heel look. But yes, Io is wrestling Shayna Baszler tonight in our in-ring main event. 70 rated match. Yeah, the home countrymen here in Mexico, Angel Garza and Andrade Cien Almas do pick up the win, pinning Lucian Price of a Hammerlock DDT. 39 for Bronco, 40 for Lucian, 87 for Angel Garza, 84 for Andrade. Lucian Price and Bronco Nima have excellent chemistry. I'm not sure if they did in 2020. Like, that feels new. But, yeah, they could be better off for it, so we take those. But yeah, after the match, Andrade and Garza are celebrating in front of the Mexico crowd when Zelina Vega takes the mic. And she says, "Tomorrow night, WWE King of the Ring takes over Mexico City. And Andrade Cien Almas and Angel Garza currently are not booked." So this, just like last week, is a call out. Any team in the back who wants to face off with my boys in their home country tomorrow night, make yourself known. Out comes Buster Gates. Just Buster. He goes, Zelina, relax. I heard the standing ovation. See, of course Mexico knows Buster Gates. I'm world famous. I'm not just USA famous. Okay. But I was hearing you out here, and I was hearing you talking about how you wanted somebody to face your boys tomorrow night at King of the Ring in Arena Mexico. I know just the boys, because my boys need to get their ideas bucked up too, and then to pick up a win real fast, or else things are going to be a problem around here between me and them. So how about it? Your boys, Andrade Cien Almas and Angel Garza, against Nebo and Rufus at King of the Ring. And Cena goes, "Sounds like a plan, let's do it." So I needed a kickoff match for King of the Ring, and I wanted Andrade and Angel Garza on the show, so this is it. Sure. We then see Dakota walking through the hallway, like sort of sheepishly. And then she bumps into Candice. And Candice goes, "What was that?" And she goes, "What? I'm fine. I'm good." Candice goes, No, I know when you're good. You're not good. You can't let Ember Moon, what she said out there tonight, get you down, okay? She's playing mind games with you, okay? You are your own woman. You're the women's world champion. Okay? She may have gone across Japan and all these other places during her time away to hone her craft, but you've been honing your craft in this place. Main eventing WrestleMania, kinda. You're not in over your head. You're champion because you beat Io at WrestleMania. You're champion because you defended that championship back at Payback. You defended that championship against me and Tegan and Piper. You're champion because you deserve it. And I don't want you coming out there on Saturday night with a boo-boo face because Ember Moon said some mean things about you out there. Because me and everybody watching knows that they're not true. Anybody who's followed Dakota Kai for the last 2 years knows they're not true. Nobody's worked harder to get to this position than you. You can't just let somebody come in and take it away in her first match back. You need to prove to her that you have changed, that you have evolved. That you can get down and dirty and be as gritty and tough as she can. And Dakota goes, "Geez, I guess I needed to hear that." And Candice goes, "Well, I've sort of been telling myself the same thing recently. Got Rhea Sunday, kind of a difficult match." Dakota goes, "Yeah, well, thanks for coming to cheer me up, It's good to have you around. Secret handshake. And then, they're both going to be champions coming out of Evolution. Huzzah." 83. Okay. I'll take that. Johnny Gargano and Sami Zayn in friendly competition after last week. They both want to get their... They both had a bit of a rough go of things recently. They want to turn some stuff around. And it is Johnny Gargano who beat Sami Zayn clean. With the Hurt Stone Night in 12:53. 73 for Johnny, 79 for Sami. And Sami Zayn, no disrespect to Johnny Gargano, but he can't believe that. The match is over. Sami, he's sulking in the corner after his defeat. Johnny sort of goes up to him, he goes, "Hey," shakes his hand. Sami obviously does shake Gargano's hand because he's not a dickhead. But, he is obviously a bit upset. Sort of sadly leans over the ropes. When Neville comes out. He goes, well, if it isn't the spirit of one Sami Zayn, broken and destroyed because of me. Sami, I'd love to sugarcoat it for you, lad, but everybody else here saw what happened. You let your family down. You are not on my level. You will never be on my level. I will be the king of the United States for as damn well as I want to be. And that continues tonight when I defend this championship against a more deserving individual, a man more in line with me, called Tyler Breeze. Now, if you can get this rubbish out of my ring, we can continue with the real winners here." And Sami does eventually just sadly leave the ring. Just looking defeated, holding head in his hands as he walks to the back. And then we go straight into the United States Championship match. Neville against Tyler Breeze. Gets a 90. Okay. 11 minutes and 2. Neville defeats Tyler Breeze with the red arrow to make defense number 5 of the US title. 94 for Neville, 78 for Breeze. Given the gimmick that Breeze has in the save, I imagine this is a lot like... You're imagining it in real life, how Tyler Breeze would wrestle, but, that's not the same match. If you go back and watch an old Neville versus Breeze match, that's not how this would be working, because Breeze, I guess, is more sadistic now. He sort of works, I guess, sort of kind of like Pete Dunne, but, yeah, he'll be working, a more heelish, grounded style. So, I guess Neville would actually be the de facto babyface in this match. And it would be a lot different than your regular NXT Tyler Breeze versus Neville 2013 match. But yeah, Neville does retain here tonight. We then see Andre Chase and Keith Lee in the Chase U classroom. And Keith, he goes, Mr. Chase, I got the reports back. And he looks through them all and he goes, damn, Thea, she must be really broken up about last week. And Keith goes, on one hand, Mr. Chase, Raquel Rodriguez towers over Thea Hale by maybe a whole foot. She's a landscaping, gargantuan woman, whereas Thea is still petite and learning. So, victory over a woman like Raquel for someone like Thea is a tall ask. But on the same hand, those Australian kids, Kylan and Brad, they were getting all up in our grill last week, and that threw Thea's head off the game. And she goes, you're right on both accounts there, Keith. I mean, if Thea would have lost fair and square to Raquel, that's one thing, but she never even really got the shot. And then you hear the door knocking. It's Bodie and Morgan. Just Bodie and Morgan. And they come in and I go, can we talk? And he goes, sure, what is it? And Morgan's like, it's about, Duke. Andre goes, what about Duke, okay? Because I'm just saying, last week you saw Thea's match in Queen of the Ring. Thea could have been in the Queen of the Ring semi-final tonight, but she's not, because those guys, they're conspiring with Duke, and it's throwing everybody in Chase U off. And Andre goes, listen, Duke's one of us now. He's a member of the Chase U family, at least for the summer. We have to stick by his side. We can't just leave a man to flounder. That's not the Chase University spirit. It's not chase me, it's chase you, And then Bodie's like, well, I just think me and Morgan, we could try and talk things out with Duke, see where his head's at. Because this is really getting to all of us now. It's not just a Thea thing. And Andres goes, sure. I'll call Duke in next week. We can sit him down. Maybe get Kyle and Brad in as well. We can see what's going on here, because something's going on here. We then see Charlotte and Gorilla. She's getting ready for her match coming up next against Raquel, when Ariana Grace excitedly runs up to her, and about 20 seconds later, Ava Raine casually walks into frame. She goes, Charlie. And she goes, I told you about that. She goes, sorry. Charlotte, you'll never guess what. She goes, what? She goes, after me and Ava got our win last week, we have been granted a shot at the Women's Tag Team Championships at Evolution. Yay? And I was like, are you not happy? Because, I mean, sure, but you can win those championships, but it all means nothing if I don't become Queen of the Ring. Okay? We are the Royal Dynasty. We run SmackDown. And as long as those other Queendom girls and EO are still running around here thinking they're the top Queendom here on SmackDown, we're gonna have a problem. So beating Queendom last week, well done, girls. Winning those tag team championships, great. But I need you more than ever right now. Because we appear to be in a war with another Queendom army. And they're growing by the numbers every single day. So now, I'm going to need you out there tonight to help me win this match. And she goes, you got it, Charlotte. 79, Charlotte does beat Raquel. 10-23 by pinfall. Maybe due to some shenanigans by Ariana and Ava. But yeah, Charlotte Flair picks up the victory here tonight. And she will move on to the SmackDown Queen of the Ring final, where she'll face the winner of Io Sky versus Shayna Baszler in tonight's main event. And then obviously the Raw final is Tiffany and Nova. But yes, Charlotte Flair does punch her ticket to the SmackDown Queen of the Ring final. Who could she face in that? I don't know. Don't know why I said it sarcastically. Who could she face? We then cut to the Dragon's Dojo. Getting ready. Brian and Pete are training. when in walks a hobbling Miles Bourne. And Bryan goes, "What on earth were you doing, Miles?" And he says, "I was trying to jump him." And Bryan goes, "Why? What made you think that you could go out there and jump them all by yourself?" And Miles goes, You told me to, Bryan." And he goes, Come. I say a lot of things. I've had a lot of concussions through my career, but I don't remember saying jump Randy Orton ever to you. At least not just to you. Miles goes, "Oh, I must have misheard. Sorry." And Bryan goes, Yeah, you will be. Anyway, tomorrow night, the Cyclone, the Dragon's Dojo Tag Team Championship match is going to be one for the record books as me and Pete continue our long reign with these WWE Tag Team Championships. And once they're out of the way, this entire division is ours to play with, because there's not a single team on this roster who can hold a candle to us. Especially when you have me to guide you. Oh, I forgot to put on Angelo Dawkins on screen here. Like it says in a part 1 of the angle, Carmelo got a promo. In part 2, Carmelo got a promo. Oh no, there's supposed to be a part 2 of Angelo Dawkins. But anyway, the segment is Carmelo Hayes. He's got his sunglasses, his jacket on. He's walking to the ring. He goes, "The almighty Bobby Lashley, you're a tough guy. I think you are. But let's listen here. You're about what? 80 years old by this point? You're yesterday's news. Okay? You've been doing this for 20 years. You know how many times you've been world champion? 0. You know how many times I've been world champion? That's right, 1. Because I did more in 1 year than you could do in 20. And tonight, I'm going to put your ass in the ground, and I'm going to go to the SmackDown King of the Ring final. I'm going to wrestle that Samoan werewolf. I'm going to put his ass in the dirt too. And I'm going to be the king of SmackDown. I'm going to get back my world championship." And then Angelo Dawkins starts walking to fame. He goes, "Big words there, fam. I want to say congratulations last week. You got one over on me in this tournament. But as far as I can count, we're 1 for 1 right now. Whether you win the King of the Ring or not, we're finishing this." Carmelo just chuckles and goes, "Yeah. When I'm busy being king and world champion, I'll definitely make room for you, Angelo. Yeah, I'll definitely make sure to end things with you, because you'll definitely still be on my mind." And he goes up for his match, which also gets an 83. Yeah. There's no Screwy. I debated having Angelo Dawkins Screwy, but I didn't. Bobby just wins clean. 11-17 with a spear. And he advances to the SmackDown final of King of the Ring. So it'll be Bobby Lashley against Jacob Fatu. And then on the Raw side, it's AJ Styles and Xavier Woods. One of those 4 men will be your King of the Ring, and will earn a World Championship match at SummerSlam. 76 for Bobby Lashley, 75 for Carmelo Hayes. And yeah, after the match, the Hurt Business are in the ring. MVP takes the mic. And he goes, Well. With only a day before the Almighty becomes the king of this damn company, it's time for me to spout some knowledge at all of you. Jacob Fatu, you've been a hell of a talent, kid. I actually applaud you coming out on your own and doing your own thing over on SmackDown away from the rest of your family and that bullcrap drama. Sorry, that dumbass drama. But you ain't in that bloodline business anymore. You're stepping to the Hurt Business. Okay, and you may beat an injured Viper right now, but a Viper half injured ain't compare nothing to an Almighty. So he's gonna cut right through your ass tomorrow night, and then he's gonna cut through either AJ Styles or Xavier Woods, and he's finally gonna get that chance one-on-one to face you, Strickland. Scott, sorry. And when he does that, you won't have anybody to hide. There'll be no Daniel Bryan. There'll be no Drew McIntyre. There'll be just you and the Almighty. And you're picking up impressive victories all by yourself. Let's see if you can beat the Almighty one-on-one. And he drops the microphone, and he picks the microphone back up. After he does it, he goes, unless we've got to deal with John Cena. And he drops the mic back down and leaves. We then cut to Swerve, who's watching that backstage, looking angry. He goes, Bobby Lashley. Bobby thinks he's got this. Bobby ain't gonna get past Jacob Fatu. Okay? Jacob Fatu, he's big. He's badass. Okay? He's younger. He's a younger version of Bobby Lashley. He's gonna beat your ass tomorrow night. Then Lord Bando walks into frame and he goes, Swerve, I was waiting. I hear John Cena's arrived. And he goes, that's great, but I'll need to talk to you. What do you think you were doing tonight? And Bando goes, what do you mean, what was I doing tonight? He goes, I saw you were accompanying those ODM boys out to the ring tonight. What is this? Are we through? And Bando goes, no, Swerve, me and you, we're still partners. It's just, I don't want to abandon them just because you abandoned them, okay? I took them under my wing and they were my guidance, too. And Swerve just goes, well, what's it going to be? Is it going to be me or them? Do you want to be aligned with the World Heavyweight Champion, or do you want to be aligned with two clowns? Bando was like, I can't see why I can't do both. And Swerve goes, I'll tell you why. Because that mentality right there, loser mentality. I love you, Bando. I think you're great. But do you really think that you've got what it takes by yourself to bring that street trash up? You know where your bread's buttered. Think about it. And he walks off, and Bando does, of course, follow Swerve. He sadly dances out of frame. And then cut back. Io, she's getting warmed up in her locker room. Puts her jacket on. And Cammy and Saya come up to her. Cammy goes, great! So tonight, I was thinking, if since Carmella's going to be out there, it's going to be, I don't know, if she gets involved, we've got Saya to counter us, and Io just cuts her off and goes, I'm going to do this alone. And she leaves. And Saya so he just leans over and goes, alone? Is she going to be okay? Cammy just shakes her head and goes, Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. 94 is what will be. Yeah, baby. But in a result I'm sure shocked absolutely nobody. In 16 minutes and 12 seconds, Io Sky pinned Shayna Baszler with a moonsault to earn her spot in the SmackDown final of Queen of the Ring. So she will face Charlotte Flair at Evolution for the SmackDown's final of Queen of the Ring. And the winner of that will face the winner of Tiffany and Nova. 91 for Io, 81 for Shayna. After the match, Io is celebrating her victory. She turns around, Charlotte boots her head off. Charlotte continues to rain down on Io. She goes, huh? You think you're the queen, huh? I've been the queen since longer than you were even employed. Okay? Congratulations. At Evolution, I'm gonna show the world who the real queen of SmackDown is. She tosses her against the ropes, hits a spear on her. And then when Charlotte gets up, she kips up, turns around. She's also dropped with... what sort of move? I don't know what move it would even be. Not a super kick. I've never seen her do a super kick in my life. A big boot, maybe. Whatever. Tiffany Stratton is here from Raw. She takes Charlotte down. And she starts playing with her hair, bragging in front of the crowd. She drags Charlotte into the middle of the ring, drags Io next to her, hits that PME on both women laid out on the mat. And then, stands tall, puts the little queen gestures, putting the crown on her head. And yeah, will one of these three women, or will Nova Nebula, be the Queen of the Ring? Speaking of King and Queen of the Ring, we do have our pay-per-views coming up next. And we now know some more matches for these shows. First, starting off with King of the Ring itself. The SmackDown King of the Ring final will be the almighty Bobby Lashley taking on the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. The winner of that match facing, of course, the winner of AJ Styles and Xavier Woods. to determine the true king of the ring. And then on the kickoff show, Angel Garza and Andrade Cien Almas will compete in their home country. They'll face off against the Revolution's Nebo Barnes and Rufus Hamilton at the request of Buster Gates himself. Then, moving on to Evolution, we do know some more matches for that now, including the SmackDown Queen of the Ring final, which is now set as Io Sky and Charlotte Flair. Queen versus Queen in the Queen of the Ring. The winner of that goes on to face Tiffany or Nova later on in the night. Plus, it's now officially confirmed following the opening segment tonight for the Women's World Championship, Ember Moon will have her first match in, I think it's about 2 years, here in WWE as she challenges Dakota Kai for the Women's World Championship. And, as we heard from Ariana Grace earlier on tonight, for the Women's Tag Team Championships, Piper Niven and Tegan Nox's next challengers will be the Royal Dynasty duo of Ava Raine and Ariana Grace. John Cena comes out to close the show. He goes, "What is up, Mexico City?" He goes, "A lot of people don't know this about me, but whenever WWE came to Mexico City was always one of my favorite times of the year. You know, the people in this country, they are loud, they are vocal, they love everything about this. They love their own style of wrestling. Wrestling has such a deep history connected with Mexico. Which is why I'm honored that even before my retirement tour next year, I get the chance to come to Mexico for an episode of Friday Night SmackDown. And not only that, SmackDown's finally got a pay-per-view. Sorry, PLE, sorry, I'm still getting used to that, Hunter, don't shout at me. But yes, King of the Ring Arena Mexico, the iconic venue that's hosted so many great lucha moments in history. Tomorrow night will host the biggest moment in WWE history. You see, up and down the card, you got classic matches to be. Cody Rhodes and Gunther, main event 60-minute Iron Man match, and yes, it will be the main event. You're welcome, all of those saying that I politic my way back into the main event. That's not true. Anyway, 60-minute Iron Man match, main event for the WWE Championship. Jey Uso, Adam Cole, ECW Championship, King of the Ring Finals, Xavier Woods, AJ Styles, Jacob Fatu, Bobby Lashley, the Almighty. And then, there's Swerve Scott. Swerve Scott's a man who I had a brief run-in with last year when I stopped by here when I became available. At the time, Swerve, he was member of Hit Row. They were a group of young wrestlers who broke on a SmackDown doing a rap gimmick. Sound familiar? And now I'm back here. And Swerve, he's not in Hit Row anymore. He's the World Heavyweight Champion. And I've been watching the kid. Me and him, we had a street fight. Anything goes back in November. He put my ass down, stomped my head into the concrete. I can't count that as a tainted victory because it's anything goes. So when I saw Swerve as the world champion outside of, the stuff with The Rock handing him the championship, I was like, alright, let's see how long this kid manages to eke out and hold on to this championship. But the answer was, he didn't. He's not eked out a goddamn thing since he won that championship. You all hate him because he's a bit of an asshole, but make no bones about it, Swerve Scott is arguably, and this is coming from the bottom of my heart right now, in my opinion, the results don't lie. And based on his performances in this ring, Swerve Scott is the greatest wrestler in the world today. I don't know how much credit I can take for that. I don't know if I brought that out of him last year. But if I did, you're welcome. But I mentioned history earlier on tonight. I mentioned that tomorrow night, the historic Arena Mexico will see WWE history be made. And that's true. Because tomorrow night, I become World Heavyweight Champion and I break the record 17 times as the World Champion. Thank you all. I'll see you there. Then Swear's music hits and he comes and goes, whoa, 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 John. Don't you think for 1 second that you're going to get up and leave out of this ring before I even had the chance to come out here and say stuff to your face. John, I would come out here and I'd thank you for the compliment. But the fact of the matter is, I don't care. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, do not care that you think I'm the best wrestler alive today. And you know why that is, John? Because I think it. Hell, I know it. When was the last time you were here, John? You were goofing about with our truth, fighting YouTubers. Why would I care about the opinions of a guy like that? I'm standing here week in, week out, world heavyweight champion, beating their favorites, breaking their hearts, while you're off filming crappy comedy movies on Amazon Prime. See, here's the thing about me and you, John. You listen good, and you know this damn well and good because I stomped your ass into the ground last year. This ain't going nowhere. And deep down, you know it. Because deep down, you know you're washed. You're retiring because you can't keep up. Sure, your schedule in Hollywood may have a lot to do with it, but look at you. You're going bald, you're pale, you're about half the size you used to be, for some reason. You can't keep up. But instead, you've accepted the challenge from the man that you've called the best wrestler in the world today. You're not winning this match. For years, this company, the machine behind you, painted you as this ultimate underdog, even though you were beating people left and right, winning championships, holding them from a year, coming back, winning. Cena wins, lol, on and on and on and on. But this machine, they kept telling you that John Cena, how is he going to overcome the odds here? Because that's what you do. But I stand here in front of you right now. I don't stand in front of John Cena. I don't even stand in front of the John Cena that I stood in front of last year. I stand here in front of a comedy actor from Hollywood who can't keep up anymore. And knows it because that's why he's calling it quits. But as I was saying, John, this is a new territory for you because for the first time in your career, tomorrow night you truly are the underdog. Sure, there have been times where people thought you might lose, but nobody thinks you'll win in this match. And history will not be kind to John Cena's legacy. History will be kind to my legacy because you come out here, you host Hustle Lordy Respect, you talk about your 16 world championships. So let me tell you this. If you're a 16-time champion, you've been beaten for this World Heavyweight Championship 16 times. You know how many times I've been beaten for this World Heavyweight Championship? 0. You know how many times I'm gonna be beaten for this World Heavyweight Championship? 0. Do you know how much of a chance you've got of beating me on tomorrow night? 0. Cena, hat comes off. He's rubbing the bald spot. Fine speech. Listen, kid. You can't hurt me. I'm John Cena. I know who I am. I've never been more real and honest with these people a day in my life, and I've made a whole career out of being honest and real with these people, but this is the true authentic version of John Cena that you're ever going to see. And you're coming out here talking 16 times I've won it, 16 times I've lost it. Yeah, Ron, get some new material. If I had a world championship for every time someone came out here and used that line against me, I'd already have broken the record twice over. But there is something I did want before you leave to shake your hand and thank you for saying, for putting it out into the world. John Cena is the underdog tomorrow night. You're the World Heavyweight Champion, beating everybody in your path for the past 6 months, in your prime. And I'm retiring next year. Nobody thinks I'm winning this match. But... What if I do? What if tomorrow night you're the latest victim of those 5 moves of doom everybody before you had faced? And I put your ass on the ground and I do take that championship. Then what? It's great for me. I beat the best wrestler in the world today. I'm the 17-time world champion. I've set the record. I'm going to SummerSlam as the world champion. My status, my legacy is cemented. But if you lose tomorrow, you lose to how'd you put it? Washed up Hollywood actor making terrible comedy movies for Amazon Prime? That's the guy? After these last 6 months of you dominating everybody? You know, your music, you come out here. It's called Big Pressure. It's a great song. It's a very appropriate song. Because whether you want to admit it or not, tomorrow night, it is big pressure. For you. Good luck, kid. And always remember, no one is safe from the 5 moves of doom. Mic drop. Time is up, my time is now. Swerve. Like, John Cena leaves, we get the camera on Swerve, he sort of just like looks over his shoulder at Cena as he's walking away. And then, yeah. Final war of words. And that ends the show. 92 rated show. That's pretty sick. Sure. But yeah, what matters more is what you thought of the show. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll see you on the other side now for Velocity, where I think the Speed Championship tournament continues. Yeah. Definitely, but I'm trying to think of anything else announced. I don't think there is. We kick off Velocity with a first time ever. Charlie Ryland and Jorge Santana is the first ever WWE Speed match to end in a draw. I think I have it set so draws cause elimination from the tournament, which means, yeah. So both Charlie Ryland and Santana are out. Obviously Charlie Ryland, the man who concocted the belt in his cockpit with Funaki, and then Jorge Santana, who has a big match at the pay-per-view. You know, this could have really gone either way, but it went neither way. And they're both eliminated, which I think now means the winner of Cedric Alexander and Dudley Davis receives a bye. We then move on to Santos Escobar, another member of LA Extreme, taking on Emerson Frost of the Grand Jury. Phantom Driver, and Escobar does advance. And yeah, he gets a 68, Emerson Frost for 75. He faces the winner of our next match, which is Javon Evans against RKJ, which also gets a 66. They've got pretty good chemistry. And it's Javon Evans who picks up the win in that match. By submission, apparently. He doesn't. He hits that funky dive thing. Yeah. 65 for Javon Evans, 72 for RKJ. Then our final Speed semi-final. No, quarter-final even. Cedric Alexander defeats Dudley Davis in 3:35 of a lumbar check, designed to go out and steal the show. Yeah. 91 for Dudley. This is what I mean. Like, 88 rated for the wrestling, but the show got 70 because it's only like 3 minutes long. Yeah, 91 for Dudley, 85 for Cedric. So Cedric Alexander does receive the bye to the final, actually, which means we've only got one Speed semi-final to do, and that's going to be Javon Evans against Santos Escobar next week. But then after the match, Cedric takes the mic. He goes, "Last week I made a statement, okay? I laid the Cruiserweight Champion Axiom down on his ass, because I am sick and tired of being overlooked, okay? I'm the Cruiserweight, the original Cruiserweight, okay? The Cruiserweight Classic. Who's everybody talking about? Me, who was the face, the heart and soul of 205 Live. Me and Ali. And now Ali's off doing his thing. I'm going to make this division back where I needed to be all the way back then. Hell, I'll win this damn Speed Championship. I'll be the first ever Speed Champion. And I'm going to take Axiom's Cruiserweight Championship off his ass. In fact, I'm such a multi-divisional Cruiserweight wrestler, I'm not even done tonight. Give me another match. He has a match with Atlantis Jr. He came to me before the show. Like, one of the new features in this game is, like, once you set your location, workers in the pre-show stuff can go, would you be able to book me tonight? And Atlantis Jr. came up and went, can I be booked for the show? I was like, yeah, you can work Velocity. That seems fun here in Mexico. There are 3 luchadors also in the main event tonight as well, challenging for the Cruiserweight Trios Championships. Because, yeah, we've got to get our luchas on this show in Mexico. But Cedric does beat Atlantis Jr. in 12:37 with a lumbar check. 85 for Cedric, 60 for Atlantis Jr. And the main event gets a 71. Unlike Atlantis, El Elemental, Futuro, and Neon are AAA developmental guys I've got signed. And I want to try them out, and I thought, this is the best place to do it. I don't know if they're always going to score 66, 56, or 52, because they might have popularity in Mexico. But yeah, they obviously don't win the belts. Dante Rios, Noe Lorcan, Jonathan Gresham retain. Dante pinning Futuro on 15:47. 71 for Gresham, 68 for Oni, 69 for Rios, 66 for Neon, 56 for Futuro, and a 52 for El Elemental. And that does end Velocity. That ends the final show before King and... No, not King and Queen of the Ring. King of the Ring and Evolution. It's King of the Ring tomorrow. Well, in-game tomorrow, probably not IRL tomorrow. It's King of the Ring on the Saturday, Evolution on the Sunday. So yeah, they're both from Arena Mexico though. So hopefully I'll see you next time for King of the Ring, the first premium live event of TEW 9. I'll get to do my first press conference after that. That should be fun. See you then.